All right, welcome everyone. My name is Charles Thompson. If we haven't met, I'm the vision holder and founder of the Common Stead. Honored to be with you today, kind of going back in time a little bit for me. I kind of took a pause on the energy space when it regard to solar for a few months and had to deal with some things, navigate some interesting challenges. But now we are back. And we're back with a really, really good mission and vision. Beyond everything we're going to talk about today, I do want to talk a little bit about the Common Stead for those who are new to us. And I'll show you a few slides so you kind of have an idea of what we're doing. And really, what I'm kind of going back, when I say going back, I'm not just talking about solar. My history is I started after being in the Air Force and home security for a number of years. I went into the energy space about 30 years ago, a little over 30 years ago. I started in deregulation, and then a good coworker, partner of ours, who was Jeff Boyer, and I started an energy efficiency company called Certified Energy Consultants. And we were all focused on helping people reduce what they use. 16 years ago, I shifted over to solar. I ended up running the outside sales group for NRG and then direct NRG. And it was just a wonderful experience. I shifted over to another platform about 10 years ago. And then about 6 months ago, made the decision to really rethink the way I had to address the industry. I actually been thinking about it for 2 years, but started pulling the trigger about 6 months ago and launched what we call the Common Stead, which is an ecosystem and another abused term in the industry, right? People use that term, but they don't really create a true ecosystem that is really designed to drive local economies and really partnering with local contractors on everything that we do. And in all of the other products that we have, we're more of a bridge between manufacturers and the sales channel. And that can be affiliate channel like we have, and that can be dealers, EPCs. We give them access to really the best pricing from the manufacturers. If they went to the manufacturer direct, they'd get pricing that's higher than what we can provide them because the value add we have, and it's the volume that we can bring. And then the value add, which I just said, is really beyond that. It's we provide a lot of training, we provide marketing assets, we provide a lot of infrastructural support for them to be able to build their businesses with more revenue streams. And then we can take them where they can have one customer with anywhere from 3 to 5 revenue streams off of one customer with one cost per acquisition. So that was the vision, and it's actually going faster and better than I had anticipated. As a company, we're well over $1 billion in pipeline revenue already in 6 months. Probably would say approaching 1.5. Now that all has to get installed. That all has to go through it. A lot of that is commercial, which we all know if we've been in the commercial space, that does take more time. Our focus today is residential, and this meeting is specific about solar. I just want to give you some insight about who we are. And then I'm going to shift in here and start to talk about the platform that we have and who we have partnered with to build the residential solar biome, and then just really open it up for Q&A. So what I'll start with here is the partnership has been formed with Subcontractor Hub, SubHub for short. There is a monthly fee that we pay with SubHub. You don't pay a fee. It's free for you to use our platform and to use SubHub. We only allow our pros to work inside SubHub because we don't want, and I'll talk about those roles in a few minutes. We just want to keep it really fine-tuned to people who understand how to do design and how to walk the deal all the way through. Everyone else really becomes a connector, and I'll talk about the roles and the compensation for the people in those roles. If you're a pro, you're going to want to be a pro on our platform because we're going to be building an army of connectors who all they want to do is connect. So we'll dive into those a little bit. We'll talk about our coverage map. We'll talk a little bit about solar. What I'd like, in addition to those who put in the chat where you are currently looking to sell, if you are a pro, you've already selling solar, and you consider yourself a pro, that can be, I guess, hands-free. In other words, you can just take a platform, get initial training, and go and sell. And you're not going to require a lot of maintenance. I don't mean that in a bad way, meaning you're not going to require a lot of training. Put a 1 in the chat, and Lenny, let's make a note of that. Put a 1 in the chat, and I'm going to introduce Lenny here in just a moment so we can kind of keep our eyes on each of you and make sure we have you on our list. Because the next phase we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing training on how to use the platform with SubHub. I recognize virtually every name coming in as a 1. I love to see that. That's wonderful.
Also, if your name's last name's not on there, could you add that, please?
Great idea. Thanks, Lenny. So Lenny and I have been working together for years, and Lenny is going to be heading up this biome for the Common Stead. And when I say biome, that's kind of a category or a division, if you will. Lenny has stepped up and he has volunteered, and now he owns the biome. So as we start to grow, Lenny will become the point person. I'm going to be here to support Lenny for the first few weeks. I'm going to really want to be in and kind of get to feel who's here and what we need to do to help you all succeed. And then Lenny's going to own this and he'll be able to help you through the process. So Lenny, if you want to take a minute to add maybe about your background and share your vision, go for it, my friend.
Sure. So, well, hey everybody, Lenny Fairfield. Been in the solar industry for about 7 years and been doing it all over the country, virtually nationwide. My background is in personal finance, so I was actually a wealth manager for 17 years before I got out of that and got into something that I enjoy, which is solar. I really enjoy it. It's probably my favorite career I've ever had. So I'm excited about this opportunity. I mean, when I first got into it, one of the first things I noticed was, okay, this customer is only going to buy one thing from me. There's so many different things I could bring to the table. I just needed a way of doing it, and that's what we're getting through the Common Stead. So having the Common Stead attached to, us as solar professionals, and the list of solar professionals we have is insane. These are some serious pros coming from day one. So I'm expecting to drink through a fire hose for the next several months. So appreciate it, Charles. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate everything you stepping up. And it's going to be
Yep.
a wonderful ride. We've worked together for years, and this is going to be a game changer. Largely because I'll tell you, when you see the training next week, Lenny and I, and any of you who have seen the platform that SubHub has built, is absolutely phenomenal. And the beauty for us, those who are contractors, I think I have to stop allowing anybody to draw. Thank you for pointing that out by grabbing the screen. I thought we had our settings where that was not allowed, but you just put us to the test. So let me clean that up and stop that from happening. Disable annotation, but I know it's typically accidental. So let me stop screen sharing and I'll go back to screen sharing, and I've just prevented that from happening again. There we go. So the platform itself is really what this industry needs. And for organizations like us, it's absolutely phenomenal because we're able to do things that you can't do on any other platform that I've seen in the industry. If you're new to solar, you're a connector, I just want to kind of let you understand the benefits, the financial benefits. We'll get all the training for you in terms of how to do it and how to collect bills, and you'll see our whole process. But the average commission that we see typically is about $7,000, maybe even a little bit more in certain markets based upon whether you're doing third-party ownership programs, what the kilowatt hour rates are, et cetera, et cetera. Everybody in our platform will start as a connector unless you're already designated as a pro. And the intention is some people will just stay as a connector, which quite frankly is one of the most important roles in the company. Those who can actually make the connection, make that introduction, collect the utility bill, work with a pro. For doing that, you get 50% of whatever that margin is. And the pro is the one who sets the margin. You split it 50-50. Super simple. So you partner with a pro, and then sometimes we need people to step into a role more of a coordinator. They'll probably help with some of the project management, make sure that things are going well, more communication with the homeowner. That is between you and the pro to decide if you want to be, I won't say advanced, but take on more responsibility. And in that case, you're earning 70% of the commission. If you're a pro, you get 100% of whatever that margin is. And we don't do any markups. There's no late stage adder surprises that you might find commonly in our industry. And I will tell you, I've done a deep dive analysis on the 2 of the 5 partners we're going to launch with, and then the primary partners. And the average install time is under 45 days. You always have your kind of odd issues where you have to have a transformer upgrade or things that sometimes slow projects down. It just is what it is. It's a construction project, right? I always say 1 out of 10 is going to be a shit show. Pardon my language. Just the reality. It's solar, it's construction. Just expect that is just the nature of the beast. But the partners that we have are hand selected by us. And I feel very, very confident that they're going to deliver better than anybody I've worked with in the industry because of the platform that gives them that ability. Our initial launch markets are here on the map that you see today. We're in 23 states. Lenny and I are making a note of areas where you might be that we are not, and we will make sure that we add those to our priority list. And how we can do that is through SubHub. We now have a feature that our company has that we can work with any EPC company that's engineering, procurement, and construction. We can work with any EPC in one of two ways. If they are already in SubHub, then we just need to know them, get connected, identify our red lines, make sure they're in line with what we're going to be presenting to each of you. And then we can choose them with a drop-down menu that we will be able to, as the pro, will be able to choose who that company is. If they're not on SubHub, we have a link that we provide for them to join SubHub, and it's $500 a month for them to be a contractor on the platform. If they just simply want to be a subcontractor, they can partner with one of our major EPCs who are on a national level. There is no fee to do that. And all they will do, and I don't mean that in a minor way, they will simply be the subcontractor. The master contractors are the ones who we choose, but our subcontractors we can bring on board, because a lot of times smaller companies who are great, typically they really know the market, they're very efficient, they're very timely, but they don't have the loan products or the TPO products that the big companies have. So our arrangement with our bigger companies is that they will allow them to onboard directly with them, be a subcontractor. We then work with the big company that gives us all of the loan options and TPO options, but our subcontractor gets the job. So it's the best of both worlds. So we'll probably have 3 by the time we fully launch. We're going to be pilot launching next week. And within 2 to 3 weeks, we'll be on the kind of full launch mode, where you're going to see that there'll be a drop down of 3 to 5 different master contractors. You'll know why as we get into the training, why one might be better than the other in that respective market. They'll all be aligned in terms of red lines, so you have nothing to worry about there. So on that note, I want to pause on that conversation about red lines, because I'm not going to ever commit to being the lowest red line in the industry. And what I've seen, and I will look at a lot of the OGs who are here, we've seen that be destructive to our industry. The race to the bottom is not the way you win the game. Being consistent, performing, installing quality projects that we can get referrals on and we can get paid on time without late stage adders, that is more important than a low red line. Because a low red line doesn't mean crap if you're not getting paid. If you can put a 1 in the chat if you've worked with a smaller company and never getting paid. Put a 1 in the chat. I'll tell you, having built teams for the last 10 years in this space, I can't tell you how many times per week I hear that they've worked with a great company, but something happened. I put in a number of projects and all of a sudden I wasn't getting paid anymore. It's probably every single one of you pros have had that experience. What we have arranged is we actually get funded when the EPC gets funded. So the lenders pay that money separately from the EPC, and they pay it directly to us. That is the protection that you have by working with a CommonStead. You can be sure that we're obviously going nowhere. We've got a lot of interest to have you not only doing solar with us, but to do other energy efficiency items, which our contractors also agree to do. So the beauty is, you know you're going to get paid. You know the cycle of being to get paid. I'll walk through where you can find all those details here. If you there's playbooks for you each, by the way. Solar Mastery, you may not need it. If you're a pro, you already know everything that's in these books, but this is from courses that I used to sell years ago, that we've just basically taken those courses from the video format and put them into a handbook. It's about 120 pages, including a quiz that you just self-test and make sure you're up to speed. And I look forward to spending more time on that as I have more bandwidth now that we've scaled our company to where we need to be. There's also a specific prospecting handbook for anybody who wants to go out either knocking doors or virtual prospecting. There's scripts that I've used. I started door to door. That's where I got cut my teeth, if you will. And in my career, I would say I'm responsible for, or I've overseen about 150,000 installs in my ventures with the 5 different companies that I've worked with. The last company was about 36,000 installs over a 4-year period of time. So I'm hoping that we can come up to bigger numbers than that in the next couple of years. I know the industry's shifted, but we have pivoted and we've shifted with the industry. And I hope to lead the industry in a different direction, a better direction than what I've seen it become over the last 16 years. If you're a solar bro, you're going to have to change your mindset, because solar bros are not going to be welcomed in this community. That is not our culture. We are all about making sure that we help the homeowner and we help them reduce before they produce. And we want to make sure the offsets that we sell are what they actually receive. A lot of what I've been doing in the last few months has been helping fix what people have sold by adjusting what they use, because they were told they had 100% offset, yet they really only had 70, maybe 80% offset. And they thought they got a better deal because this company came in and gave them a better deal than the other company. Reality was they weren't actually given 100% offset. So our job is to help them do that and make sure we sell the right way and professionally. So, and I'll pause for Q&A here in just a few minutes. I just want to run through a handful of slides with you all so we have this on record. Show you the money. I already talked about the red line, the 50-50 split. I want to talk about the roles. So the connector is one whose responsibility is collect the bill and open up that dialogue with the customer. You don't close the deal. You just hand it off to a pro. If you and the pro decide that you want to become a coordinator, means you take on more responsibility, you can receive 70% of the deal. If you're a pro and you're closing your deals from soup to nuts, you get 100%. If you're working with a connector, you get a 50-50 split. If you're working with a coordinator, you get a 70-30 split. You get 30, they get 70. So obviously, if you have that kind of split, you want to make sure they're carrying the load. And you're basically using your license, you're doing the right thing, you're making sure the contract is sold properly, because that's who we're going to hold accountable is the pro. The connector is opening the door. We're not going to come back to a connector and talk about what we said. We're going to talk to the pro. Keep it straightforward. So in those roles, we have other roles that you can also sell other products. So we can have passive income if you want to build a team. And I'd actually like in the chat, and let's make a note of that as well, Lenny, those of you who want to build a team, you're going to get your own red line and you'll be able to pass on a red line to your team as well. So if you want to build a team, put a 1 in the chat for that. Or yes, the team, Adam, there you go. All right, let's make a note of that. Thank you, Adam. So throw that in so we know the next conversation with each of you is going to be what your red line is, and then you're allowed to pass whatever red line on to your team that you deem appropriate. We typically see teams generally doing anywhere from 10 to 30 cents a watt bumper based upon what experience people have. We'll give you your red line, and you have the ability to pass that on. Okay, thank you for putting that in the chat. Yes, the team, cool. Again, our red lines are going to be very, very competitive, but I will not tell you that they're going to be the lowest. They're going to be the best overall experience in the industry based upon the partners that we have chosen. In addition to that, you have the ability to work on the wholesale side and the retail side. So if you have an EPC who you want to bring into our ecosystem, you can do that when they buy products, not solar products, but energy efficiency products. You actually get 6% of everything they purchase. Even with that, we pay 9% of our margin on wholesale goods to the field. We still beat any pricing that if EPC went directly to the manufacturer can get, because we negotiated such great pricing and we share that with the field. So we as a company are only operating on 6%. That tells you that we're expecting big volume. On the retail side, so on energy efficiency, so think beyond solar, right? That's why my personal link is Solar Evolved. That's because that's what I want to see us evolve solar into a whole different space. You have the ability to build the team on the retail side as well. I won't dive into that today because we have a whole process for you to do that. And then, of course, the majority of your income on the short term is going to be when you sell directly, and that's either solar or energy efficiency. Lots of training for you to do that. And all the compensation plan information is in this comp document at the compensation.thecommonstead.com. We'll drop a master link in the doc here towards the end so you can download all that. Very simple compliance policies and procedures. We're not a big legalese type of company. So just know that we'll have all that handled for you. Our payroll is all handled through iPayout. So you set up your wallet. We can pay in multiple countries as well. So if you have connectors who are working in other countries, I'll have the list of those countries for you next time we meet up. But we manage everything through iPayout, so you don't have to worry about lag and pay time. Anything that's installed Monday through Sunday is paid out on Friday. During the ramp up, if there are people who are having a really shift and they need money, I'll make a personal commitment that once we're funded, we have that money in hand, project is approved. If you need money, you just let us know. We'll get you paid quicker. It's just when we get into flow, we got to stay really consistent with a Friday payroll so that we don't have to have a lot of people spinning wheels and moving pieces around, if you will. Just know that you have my commitment. If you are in needs, we will certainly make sure we recognize that. This is the fun part. I want to see this list shift tremendously over the next few weeks. This is currently the people who have registered to become a pro in the platform. I see all the ones on there. So I'm going to drop a link in the chat on where you need to go to what you need to fill out. In fact, I'll pull this form up right here. I'll copy it. I'm going to throw it in the chat because we want you to fill this out. We will have live tomorrow version 1 of this slide where it actually says pros.thecommonstead.com, and we'll have pros who are for commercial products, pros for residential, pros for solar. So if you want to be a pro in our network, you want to fill out this form. Let me put that in the chat. This is one that I want to do right now, so you have it. Get my screen to wake up. There we go. If you want to be a pro, that form is going to be critical. And this is essentially your name, your information. With regard to your biome, that's going to be solar. You want to have your calendar link, a short bio, and a headshot. If you don't have a calendar link, we're not going to put you in our pros directory because people can't book their appointments with you. The biggest complaint that we have in our network is I got to know who I'm going to be working with and how I can book an appointment. Calendar link solves that problem. So if you get that form, fill that out. You'll be in the next round. We'll fill those out as quick as we can. We'll get our pros page active, and then you'll be on the list of people who we can assign connectors to as we grow. I'm going to pause on that because that's a lot of ground that I've covered. I want to just open it up for questions on the topics I've covered thus far. I've got a few more slides, and we're going to stop screen share. We're just going to go general Q&A. Any questions on what I've covered so far?
Yeah, hey, Charles, just to confirm, is all this pertaining strictly to solar, or those policies and procedures link, is that for the overall Commonstead, or is that strictly just, that's overall?
Overall,
and this pros thing is also, the link you just sent, that's also overall?
That's all roles, yep.
Okay, got it, just wanted to clarify.
So if you're a pro on our energy efficiency side, then you'll just list that out. But this is mainly today here, we're talking about solar. So when we're looking for pros from this group, it's for solar.
Okay, but that link, you can, like, if you say you want to be a pro in one area, but not the other, that'll
correct.
Fill it up properly.
Yep.
Okay.
That is correct. Okay, good question, Dave. Thanks.
Yep.
Any other questions? Really? I can't be that clear. Come on.
Bunch of pros.
Bunch of pros. All right. If you're pros, I'm gonna rock on and then just get through these slides as quick as I can because I want to frame up the other part of our company. We're here talking about solar, but I want you to know what you have access to in the network. We call this our retail program, which is essentially not in a store, but that is the ability to sell energy efficiency products alongside solar. And we have great technologies that you can tap into. Think about it this way. You have one cost of acquisition. You've got your homeowner that you're dealing with, and typically the hardest part is getting in front of that homeowner. Generally speaking, in solar, that's one income stream off of that customer. What we provide you is a way to generate multiple streams of revenue off of the same customer for one cost of acquisition. And those products are all listed here. There's videos that you can watch. If you go to media.thecommonstead.com, I'm going to pull that up in a minute. You'll see all the videos. So I'm not going to go through all these slides. Just short videos on who we are, what we do. Watch those at your leisure. Just want you to get full exposure to what we do. But this deck is saved for purposes. On our energy efficiency side, we're covered in all 50 states and Canada. And we've got some other international relationships as well. We're actually launching in the Philippines and Saudi Arabia. But primarily, our main focus is the United States and Canada. So anything energy efficiency, we're covered both here and in Canada. And those are the pros for that list. They'll certainly be populating on the new page by tomorrow. We won't talk too much about that. We also have a partnership with Think Energy, which allows you the ability to do 3 great programs. One's called an autosave. If you're in a deregulated market, you can do autosave, which helps the homeowner guaranteed savings every single month. They flip from either utility or the ESCO, the energy supply company, every month based on what's going to be the best rate for them. We also have community solar through this relationship. And we have a battery program that launches in Texas in the beginning of March. It's a free battery for non-solar customers. It can be anywhere from 1 to 3 batteries. It's a wonderful partnership, and there's no cost to the homeowner whatsoever. All they do is sign up for the energy supply program, which is the lowest rates in the industry, and they get free batteries because the company is an energy supply company and they are arbitraging. Oh my goodness gracious, say that word 3 times. They are arbitraging the rates. So they have the ability to give away free batteries and leverage those batteries when they need them. Fantastic opportunity. So the homeowner gets to save on their bill, get free battery backup, and no cost to install. 10K battery, and they can do up to three batteries typically. That's non-solar customer. They're strictly a non-solar customer. So you have that option. If you're in Texas, that's where it launches. Then we go into Illinois in a couple months, and then we'll go into New Jersey. Then it'll be pretty much all the dereg markets on the East Coast. So it starts with, you got 3 programs with them. You can do autosave, home battery program, and community solar. No company's offering those 3 programs today. They have a SaaS fee of $59 to sign up and annual $149, purely something that's optional to each person. So if you want to participate in that, you just go to this website called think.thecommonstead.com and put your information in. We'll get you connected with one of the pros who's running that space. It's also in our community channel. So if you have questions about it, just go into it. Yeah, you want that battery in Ohio? It's coming, Adam. Give it time. We'll get to it. We got some great promotions this month. I'm going to skip over them because I want to really dive into Q&A, but we work with our partners because of our Open Solar partnership, which I will talk about. With Open Solar, we have discounts that we offer on one of our products every single month. So we have some great offers. They're all in our community. So if you're not in the community, you're going to want to get in a community and you're going to want to plug in. You start on Monday with our launch pad. So if you're new to the community, get on our Monday training with Ashley Warren. She's on with us today. Plug into some of the product trainings, plug into our monthly meetings. We actually have one tonight. It's called Grow You. I'll talk about it. It's an awesome coaching program. And then the second Wednesday of each month, we do a town hall event. We update everybody on what's happening in the company, the direction we're going. We keep it, it's really about a 90-minute typically, but last week it was 2 hours because we had so many big announcements. So you book into your week here. You start with Ashley on Monday. Come to business development every Monday afternoon. I run business development for the residential side of the company. You can get into prospecting 101 with Carlos on Tuesdays. You then go from Carlos you jump on our media page to see, hey, what products do they have? I want to take a look at these. Watch the videos, find out what you like, plug into the different. So pick a lane, plug into the Brilliant on the Basic books. You get handbooks for every one of the products. Figure out who you want to work with and jump into our community and then start going to trainings. Every day we have typically 2 to 3 trainings for the different products that we have available. And then you bookend the week and you end it. Wonderful way to end it on Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern with Ashley on the art of appointment setting. So that covers all things, not just solar, but it covers all of the biomes that we have. And that is how we work. So I always tell people is just get out there. And if you're a connector, get your first appointment. That's the goal. If you're a pro, get ready, sell your own deals and be ready to take deals from us. So with that said, I'm going to stop sharing, but I will say tonight, 5 p.m., I would highly recommend if you want to see some pretty cool stuff. The first Wednesday of each month, we talk about recruiting, headed up by Mike Brady. The second one is me in the town hall. The third is my beloved, who this time she's going to be dealing with how you deal with people you don't like. So does anybody know anybody that they don't like? Come to that event. She'll coach you through how to deal with people you don't like. It's very interactive. It's free. I don't know many companies that offer free personal development, but we do. And you can bring guests, you can bring homeowners, you can bring anybody you want because we don't talk about products. We don't talk about services. We just help people develop. And then the last week of the month, we do social media training with Ashley. She's got a phenomenal program for you there. So every Wednesday we have something. There are some months there's 5 Wednesdays. We'll announce that here soon. So that is who we are as a Commonstead. That's the general overview. And I now can just stop screen sharing and go right to Q&A. Ryan, I see your hand up. Go ahead, my friend.
Okay. Just a quick couple questions. I don't know if this is going to go over when you guys go through the training, but was kind of curious, what TPO options are going to be rolled out, what financing options. I know prepaid PPA is obviously big in the market with the tax credit gone. Propel just came out with Concert. I know Participate's big here in California. I don't know what options are kind of coming and if that's too early to go over or kind of what Commonstead had going.
Yep, not too early to go over at all. Everything that you want, we have. So it'll vary by the particular EPC you choose, but the national EPCs have every TPO product and loan product that you could possibly want. Concert, Light Reach, I mean, you name it. If they're Good Leap, they're all there. And again, we get paid directly from the lender, so you don't have to worry about chasing down that EPC to get paid. We've all had that experience. So everything that you want, Lenny, am I over speaking there? Is that a fair enough statement?
No, sounds accurate to me. Yep.
Okay.
And the other thing is we have the flexibility to more flexibility, Charles, I think, to add,
Yes.
if you have your own partner you're working with, let's bring them on board. Let's get the products. If we don't have a product, let's get that product.
That's correct. Thank you for saying that, Lenny. Sometimes there's local companies that just have really good programs. I've seen, like in Puerto Rico, for example, there's just sometimes better programs for Puerto Rico, which we haven't made live yet, but that is coming soon. In that next 60-day cycle that I talked about, you'll see us in places that many companies don't go because of the fact that we're leveraging not only the platform, but relationships that I've had for 15 plus years. So we've got you covered on every different product that you want. It'll all vary. So sometimes you might go in there and look at one master EPC and find out maybe they don't have concert. Flip over to the other one and you'll find out they have concert. We've got Light Reach. We've got, I don't want to start naming names because I'll forget somebody, but pretty much everyone that you can think of. Okay.
Yep.
And Sterling, you had your hand up. And then Rachel, you're next.
Sterling, what's your last name?
Can't get off mute. Go ahead, Sterling. You're off mute now.
Hey, sorry guys, I was taking a bite. Hey Charles, hey everybody.
Good
Thanks
to
for letting
see
me
you.
ask a question. Super excited about this. I've asked a couple of questions in the chat. I think it was last week we were talking about this, and you had me frame this in a certain way to kind of recruit some individuals in the solar industry. And I have a buddy of mine who's been a top performer. I've done some setting for him, some door knocking. He's definitely interested in this opportunity and multiple streams of income. So I'm supposed to got him scheduled for a meeting with Matt Britt tomorrow. My question, I guess, would be: are these products available in Washington State? I may have missed the part where what markets we're involved in at this point.
Yes, solar. I don't believe solar is in Washington State with us yet,
No,
but
not
we've
yet.
got it on the list. All the other energy efficiency products. In fact, if your friend is an EPC or is he a pro?
He would be coming in as a pro. Yeah, I heard you going
Okay.
over that sign up
Right.
platform.
So we just need to find good EPC in that market, and we can put them into the platform. Lenny and I are making a list of where we need to put our attention next. But right now, the 23 states that I'll pull it up if we need to, that's not on that list today. We've got it noted though. Okay.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you.
Right.
Sterling, what's your
Yeah.
last name?
It's Sauve, Sauve.
Okay, Rachel, you're next, and then Carlos.
Hi, guys. Thank you for all of this. Greatly appreciate it. So with Minnesota and North Dakota not being on the map, is it because they're not a viable state to have solar in? Or I noticed they get excluded a lot from
Yeah,
that.
that's what Lenny was saying too, particularly Minnesota. No, Minnesota is viable. Wisconsin is lower energy rates, but we can certainly pack in those markets if we've got the right EPCs. That's the difference between us and what you're going to find your traditional solar company. By leveraging multiple platforms, we're able to open up markets that others can't. So if we have
Awesome.
enough expressed interest, that's when we open up the market. What we did
And
is
then-
we took the top
Oh,
ones
sorry.
first, started with the top ones. Now, in reality, most of the industry, if you take probably 80% of the market share, is in 3 states. It's crazy.
Okay.
California, Texas, and Florida. All the other states make up the other 20%. We want to change that, obviously.
Awesome. And then follow-up question to that then is, do you, for Minnesota, then do you need EPCs and installers?
Yes.
So maybe I could do some research work. My husband and I, all our families are back in Minnesota and North Dakota, so I can put out some feelers and stuff.
That's what we'll need. We'll need a good solid EPC who would become a partner in SubHub. They would pay a $500 monthly fee. unless one of our EPCs has a master license there, they would pay a license fee to SubHub, and it's so worth the money to be in the platform for $500. They get so much technology, free design tools, everything they need to run their business, and CRM. It's awesome. For $500 a month for an EPC, it's phenomenal.
Great. Okay, and so I'm really new to like the whole like contractor community. So an EPC is, I know it's an energy procurement company. So would they isn't so would they as an EPC like have the ability to like they're already kind of like set up as an energy company themselves that would deal with solar, correct?
Yeah. So EPC stands for engineering, procurement, and contractor. So it's an electrical contractor that they license to be able to install solar in their respective markets. Typically, there's a master electrician on board, and they've got the license in that market to install. So EPC is engineering, procurement, and construction. And that's typically
Okay.
most solar companies. That's why they call them an EPC, because they do all three.
Okay. Great. Thank you for explaining that in
Yeah.
a way.
I try
wrote
to say it a few times for newer folks. It's
Yeah.
a new term. So we just throw it around like everybody should know what that word, a term is, right?
No, I so greatly appreciate that. And I took a specific note on it so I know what to reach out now for to people and tell them. So thank you
Great.
so much. I greatly
Sure.
appreciate you.
My pleasure. Carlos, you're next, sir.
Yeah, mine is not directly related to solar, but all the different URLs we have. Like we have, meet.thecom instead. We have media.thecom instead. Is there a way to get a list with all the different URLs? I mean, the best way to learn them is to go in and play with them. Like
There
I didn't even know
is.
there was a playbook.thecom instead until yesterday.
Yes. Yeah.
And I mean, there's like 4 playbooks in there that are pretty extensive.
Pretty extensive. As long as you didn't say expensive. Yes, there is. I'm going to try to find that. If anybody has that handy with a master link, otherwise give me a minute and I'll go up and I'll find the cheat
I
sheet.
think I got it. I think I got it.
There's a cheat sheet for that. So we try to post it in our community. So one of the things I would encourage everyone to do is to get into our community. So if you go to the main page, thecommonstead.com, and you join our community, there's a list. I can pull it up and show you. Everything that you need will be in there. It's absolutely phenomenal. Sometimes it's a little too much because we got so much going on, but you know one place to find it. Okay, so in fact, I'll pull that up real quick.
I just posted a link, I think is what you're
Thank you,
talking
Lenny.
about.
I do want to show the community as just kind of a follow-up to what you said there, just so you know. And that's our homepage. This is not designed currently for the end user. This is really for our community, meaning our website is not designed for the end user. We expect you to be doing your own marketing and things like that. That's really what it's about. Although we'll start to shift that in the coming months because of all the engagement. But the cool thing is once you get in the community, you come here to the center and you come here and now you can see all the different, we call them biomes or call them categories right here, and just start scrolling through. You'll find if there's something you haven't read, they'll be, once you join the community, then they'll be highlighted. And everything that you should need is in here. If you have questions, you go to the Q&A section. We recommend that if you have a question regarding something, let's just say it has to do with think, or it has to do with solar, you go to the respective biomes that are in here. Ask your questions there. Right here, for example, if you have a question for me and Lenny any other time, you just go into the community and there it is. You can find everything you need. You'll find your answers. We're pretty responsive. That's what the community is all about. Just that way you've got not 24/7 coverage, but you've got the experts who will answer your questions. Okay. So if you're missing something, you can't find it, go to the general, either go to the biome or go to the general Q&A and we'll get you going. A wonderful place to also go is to get started, because everything that you need is typically in here. The Google Drives thing, everything that you need is typically the partner links, playbook links. So to your question, see how you can find that, Carlos? Just go to the get started page and here we go. Okay, right there.
Yeah, I've been in there playing around with all of them.
Good. Okay. Other questions? You got it. Got a few minutes. We only have We'll have whatever time we need. It's just Q&A at this point.
Hey, Charles, I have a question.
Please.
So I noticed that Virginia wasn't on that list on a map yet as well. So I mean, all you guys are missing is the EPC for
We
that.
got, yeah, actually, we got Virginia. If it's not on that list, by the time you and I meet up, we'll have Virginia on there. I thought it was on the list already. We've
Okay.
I thought it was too.
Yeah,
Well, we do offer EPC services as well too, and I'm
okay.
connected with other EPCs as well. So I'd love to see that, obviously pop up on the list.
Absolutely.
Virginia is not on the list. That we already have an APC on that one.
I live in Virginia. What are you
All
talking
right, right.
What in
All
the
right.
world?
We'll get that fixed. It should absolutely be on the list.
Absolutely, sounds good. Thank you.
All right, cool. Thank you. And if you do provide those services, like I said, we can get you working directly with our master partner in that market, or you can join the platform. We'll have to meet up on that separately.
Yep, we'll be talking about it for sure.
We love local EPCs. That's what it's all about for us.
Absolutely, sounds good.
And Adam, I saw your question there. I'm going to try to grab that while we're here. If not, I'll make sure to shoot me an email as a follow-up, and I'll get you the link on how to fill that out. Okay. Rachel, get your hand up again. But I don't mean it in a bad way. Welcome.
Yes.
Ask questions.
No. One follow-up question. So if I do find an EPC, who should I contact? Would Lenny be the best person to get them in contact with to get them going? Or
Yes. Yep.
okay,
Lenny would be the guy.
perfect.
And
Okay,
we're doing a lot at this time. So there may be some times where we say, hey, we're not going to be as quick to get everything done, but just know that this is where it all begins. And you also have the chat, so you can have rather the community you can go into as well.
yeah, perfect.
I have the link, I believe. I'm going to fill this out. Yep. Okay. Actually, no, that was the link that I filled out. I'll come back to it. All right. Let me just see if there's any other questions. Let's keep it going. I'm still going to find this if I can. Worst case, I'll get it to y'all soon. Lenny, you cover Q&A for a minute. I'm going to dig into something here for a few minutes. Okay.
I don't think that there is a master link for the master source of truth. I don't believe.
No, there's just a cheat sheet that has all the main links.
Yeah, which is what I just posted the link on. I'll post that again just to be safe.
Yeah, I don't have that handy for the subcontractor. So anybody who does want potentially bring a subcontractor on, hit Lenny up tomorrow. Just make sure I get the accurate link for you. I don't want to share.
Don't call me, please. Just text me or email me, please. I'll put my information out
here. Get in the community.
Oh yeah, community would be even better.
That's the best place to go is the community, because you got not just Lenny, you have others who will chime in as we need to. So use the community as much as you can, folks.
Sterling, you have your hand up. What's up?
Yeah, Lenny. Yeah, a quick question. It's along the same vein that Rachel was asking. I may know a local EPC contractor as well. What would like the compensation, or is there some type of referral bonus associated for making those connections?
We don't get paid for bringing contractors in. We make money when we bring contractors in by putting the install. So we have to remove that as a blocker because we don't charge them anything. SubHub does, but that's for the software to run their system through, which is design, integrate. They got a full API integration with the lenders. So if they have their own lenders, here's the experience. For example, when I was looking at coming back into solar, I signed up with a couple of master companies, and I had on average 8 to 10 links that I had to use to get logins. Every lender had a separate login. Design tools had separate logins. It was maddening. I said, this is not going to work. So we then partnered up with SubHub, one link. So you as a pro, you got one link that you use. You don't have to go logging into different portals. It's all handled through the SubHub master login that we have. That's the beauty of it. So your EPCs, well, the benefit, if they've got partnerships with lenders that they want to use, it all gets integrated, API integrated, and it's seamless, super simple. Okay?
And the proposal software is better than anything I've seen.
Yeah, it's approved by all the TPO. So if you can get approved by TPO products, the third-party ownership products, you've got a great design tool. And A lot of times I've just done designs with other companies and then had to do change orders and all kinds of things that happen after the contract was sold, which is obviously not the most convenient thing to do, needless to say. You won't have that issue here. It all adjusts based upon what the rules are for that lender or that third-party ownership program. Mr. Summers, yes, sir.
I just wanted to give you a shout out, Charles. You're an OG, always have been, always will. I especially want to say how much I appreciate you bringing back reduce, produce, protect. Most of my business is commercial now, but it's really a blessing to come back into this kind of ecosystem where we're doing the same thing in Resi. So I just want to give you a shout out. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Always mad respect for you as well, brother. I appreciate you. Look forward to working with you as we start to get our arms around more commercial projects as well. Emmett's got a fantastic company. Forge is his company. And we will be partners on commercial projects as we start to get more into the commercial space for solar. A lot of our commercial projects right now are first focused on reduction. And then typically 3-6 months down the road, we can come back and say, now that we know what your real usage is, we've reduced your usage. Now we can talk about how to produce clean energy. And that's kind of the next phase for us, kind of like in solar. I have no opposition to people saying, hey, let me go fix what they're using first, right? Educate them on how they're using it, help them adjust what they're using, and then give them production. Now, one of the benefits, and we've got 2 partnerships. We've got Open Solar and we have SubHub. Open Solar is separate partnerships, by the way. So those who are in the industry know that Open Solar is the largest design tool by capita in terms of how many people use it in the industry. We are the energy efficiency partner for Open Solar. In less than 30 days, we will actually be fully embedded with our products and be able to give the estimated savings. So they'll be able to adjust the offset. Nobody else has that today, where you can actually go to the software on a national platform and be able to say, we've installed an optimizer, we've installed an attic fan, we've installed Arctic blankets insulation. What is my actual change of offset going to be? We have that with Open Solar. Next up will be SubHub. We first had to get it all proven with Open Solar, the biggest one in the industry. Next up will be SubHub. And I'm stating that in case anybody here is from SubHub hiding in the background, we're coming your way next. We'll prove it out with the engineering teams over at Open Solar first. And now you can actually, if you don't want to be, let's say an EPC and you say, hey, I want to be able to sell these products and I want to be able to use that tool, you sign up for free on Open Solar and you've got it. Because now we've got that partnership. For us selling solar, we do that through SubHub. That's because that's the partnership that gives us access to all the tools that we need to be able to do our job effectively. In that case, you can basically sell the energy efficiency and estimate what it's going to be. Say, yeah, I'm going to set you at 90% because I know I'm going to save you 10 to 15% with one product. So you just have to have that trust with the homeowner, right? You're the trusted advisor. You should be able to do that until we get that completed in SubHub. Okay. Rachel, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Anybody else? We got a couple minutes left. Open table. Anything you want to ask? Nothing's off limits.
Okay, so Charles, Leonid,
Leonid.
For last I would say 4 years, I used to provide my leads and sell, which is generated online via Facebook and Bing and Google, and provide to many, many people. A lot of those people, with a different. So the closing ratio for me as well as for other guys, they were very, very low, from 5 to 10% for everyone. And I did just because of the value proposition that we gave. Now the question is, so there are some company, for example, that I worked, SunPower, when they provided leads where nobody was provided, and they had a great reputation, so they have a competitive advantage. Or I'm right now has because I had a prepaid lease competitive advantage. What's the competitive advantage when you compete with 5-7 proposals we will have using this system?
Let me just say simply, our competitive advantage, without a long statement there, Leonid, is the seller, the pro. That's our competitive advantage. in every loan and third-party ownership product in the market and energy efficiency that you're not going to get through the other companies. So we can reduce before you produce, add a lot of extra value beyond solar. So get out of the box of just solar in that case and say, hey, if I've got to compete with somebody, here's how I'm going to do that. And that's what the training that we teach people on how to use energy efficiency smartly. And that's it. So it's the pros who are really the benefit. They'll understand our pros are going to be better trained on energy efficiency than anybody you're going to run into at one of the quote competitors. So it really comes in mindset shift. And what you're selling is us. You're selling the ecosystem. That's the benefit to the homeowner. Okay. Any other questions?
Rachel has her hand raised.
Did I miss a hand? Okay, I see it.
No, it came back up.
Camera.
I keep thinking of questions as we go on.
Don't worry about it. That's why we're here.
This is great. Thank you. And I remember the conversation of that to have the optimizer installed. It's great to do the optimizer before going solar. Well, my question is, so when we if we're talking to someone and be like, hey, we got the energy optimizer, and then I'm also talking to them about solar, can those two they be financed together?
Yes, sure can.
Okay.
Yep.
Great.
Sometimes what I tell
My
people,
apologies if that wasn't a question for this
it's
conversation.
Okay. It's a great question. And you have a choice in that case. The pro has a choice. The pro can run them separately so that they can get that project installed quicker, because solar is going to be typically 45 days-ish, right, before you get paid. So if you want to be able to get that portion, they can run energy efficiency separately through Acorn or any other source that they have. And then that can be installed next week. So you're paid on that quicker and the homeowner sees the benefit quicker. At some point, we'll have them bundled in where you can actually do a two-stepper, but that's a little bit further down the road, meaning today you can package it with solar, but it's going to be paid to you when the solar gets paid. So it's going to be 45 days-ish before you actually get funded on that project. Okay.
And really the term paid, you need to add to your margin to get paid for those other products.
For now. Yep.
Okay, great. Thanks. And my apology, you did mention that at the beginning. I forgot about that. Sorry.
Do not hesitate to ask any question because it might have been something somebody else didn't hear. So don't worry about it.
Thank you.
2 more minutes left. Any other questions? Then get in the community, connect with Lenny. Lenny's made a list. We'll make sure we get the pros through the onboarding next week, because we're going to need you to be in the platform with SubHub and get you your red line so you can start to sell. And if you're a team builder, you can start to build your team. We'll have everything set up. So next week is launch, and we're going to confirm that date. If you can't be there, we'll record it. You'll still be part of the program. We're finalizing the training time and date with SubHub. After that, it's going to be a video asset. So you'll all be able to go through that, get comfortable with it, and then you get Lenny as an expert to back you up. Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you all for being here today. Much appreciated. And sometimes
one thing, Charles, before you go, before you do the final motto, our wonderful motto. Yes, the best will only be ahead if you fill out that form and put yourself on the list of pros, because I got a list written here of 30 people, and we only have 4 on the list right now. So
thank you. Good.
In case y'all didn't catch it.
Very good point. Let's make sure we throw that back in the chat.
The only way the company motto works is if you fill out that form.
Yeah, otherwise it will be next round. So this round is going to be for our first launch group. Our pros will be onboarded, and it's going to be who's already in the system, so we can have you on the pros page. And then if you don't make it this round, it'll be probably 2 weeks before you can get in as a pro. So get that form, fill that out, and we'll have you added to the list. Okay.
So Charles, to recruit a pro, would I send them that form? I guess we're not even open in Washington yet, so I guess I'll have to hold off on that.
Yeah, the answer is yes, though you can do that. Lenny will probably want to do an interview, make sure we've got who we think we need. And then we'll circle back on the state of Washington and Minnesota and a few others that we've noted as well.
Okay, I'll still meet
Virginia,
with him.
obviously.
Charles, I got
I'll
I
meet with
got
him.
one question.
All right.
Okay, were you
Brandon.
finished, Sterling? You good first?
I was just going to say that I can meet with him tomorrow regarding the other products in the common stead.
Yeah.
First of all, he does have an extensive list of customers from solar in the past you could reach out to about truing up their bill with the optimizer.
Absolutely. We could do that
That's all.
tomorrow. You got it.
Yes, sir. Perfect.
Right.
Thank you.
Brandon, go for it, sir.
So I see the leads form has the solar turned on for you guys, for everybody. Where do those leads go to for as like in other states?
The leads that we have coming in are going to go to the
Yeah.
list of people in the pros. So basically,
Okay.
as we start training, we're going to be introducing. So we'll have a bio on each of the pros. So make sure you put a bio in there so people can see your face, see your bio, and they see your link. They're going to choose you is the way it works. We're not going to necessarily put them into rotation or anything. It's going to be by choice. So connectors will be introduced. So what I'm going to recommend is when we have training events, pros should probably be in the training events, kind of being there, seating themselves, talking, asking questions, sharing their wisdom. And that takes a lot off of Lenny and lets you pros communicate with whoever's there in the training sessions. People get to hear you. The more they learn from you on those meetings, the more they're going to want to choose you as a pro.
So you guys are going to be updating the form then here pretty soon?
Yes, sure are.
Okay.
You bet.
And when will this be live as far as that goes?
The first round of pros will be live tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you. All right. 2 minutes after the top of the hour. I think we're good to go. Everyone good?
Looks good.
All right. Well, the best is ahead, y'all. Let's go get it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.